Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. Wes Welker's presence in Washington is already making headlines. And the most incredible part? Training camp hasn't even started yet. From the moment the Washington Commanders announced his arrival as their new personnel analyst, expectations rose instantly. Fans and insiders alike knew his resume was nothing short of exceptional. An NFL standout during his playing days, an accomplished coach, and now a trusted evaluator of talent. The Commanders didn't bring Welker in to fill space. They brought him in to elevate a franchise that's already brimming with ambition. And loaded with high-level coaches, Welker wasted no time proving exactly why he's here. His influence could already be felt during the off-season program, and those paying close attention would say the energy shifted the moment he stepped into the building. His sharp football IQ, laser focus, and natural ability to connect with players have combined to generate real momentum before a single snap of training camp. One of the most noticeable ripple effects of Welker's early involvement has been the rise of young wide receivers in Washington's program. Rookie Jalen Lane, taken in the 4th round, has wasted no time turning heads. His footwork, route precision, and ability to separate from defenders are traits scouts hoped he'd develop, just not this quickly. Credit Welker for helping fast-track that growth. Meanwhile, Luke McCaffrey, now in his second offseason, has made significant strides, displaying a new level of confidence and consistency. The Commanders' wide receiver group is buzzing with potential, and there's no doubt that Welker's attention to detail and personalized coaching are playing a major role in this transformation. He doesn't just watch from the sidelines, he teaches, he guides, and most importantly, he prepares these young men for the speed and complexity of the NFL. It's a mentorship rooted in experience, and the players are responding in kind. But Welker's value isn't limited to drills and route trees. His leadership runs deeper than X's and O's. Right before players departed for their off-season break, he made sure they left with a message that hit home. Alongside linebackers coach Ken Norton Jr., Welker addressed the entire squad with a message about preparation and focus during what many call the dead period. He stressed the importance of what he called winning time moments. Those crucial, fleeting situations in games that define success or failure. According to Commanders.com writer Zach Selby, Welker emphasized that greatness is shaped now, not just when the stadium lights are on. Players were told to stay ready, train with purpose, and be mentally sharp because opportunity often shows up when least expected. That message, it didn't fall on deaf ears. It resonated deeply. Because when a guy like Welker speaks, people listen. If you think Welker's presence ends there, think again. His ability to reconnect with players he's previously worked with is another powerful advantage. Take Deebo Samuel Sr., for instance, a dynamic playmaker who once thrived under Welker's coaching in San Francisco. That connection proved instrumental then. And now Welker is once again playing the role of motivator and stabilizer. Samuel had faced criticism, some fair, most not, but Welker brought him back to center, helping realign his mindset and ignite that inner fire. In today's NFL, where mental edge can be just as critical as physical preparation, that kind of mentorship is priceless. And if Welker can work that same magic across the Commanders' young and versatile offensive group, expect to see a level of cohesion and execution few teams can match. That's the type of competitive edge Washington's front office envisioned when they brought him aboard. Hiring Wes Welker wasn't just about adding another name to the staff. It was about adding someone who could raise the standard across the board. Whether it's veteran leadership, skill development, or game preparation, Welker has already become one of the most impactful figures in the building. And this isn't an exaggeration. His football mind is elite, but his ability to translate complex concepts into digestible, actionable feedback is what sets him apart. Wide receivers under his guidance aren't just learning how to catch better, they're understanding how to win leverage, read defenses, and think 2 moves ahead. This is graduate-level football tutoring from a guy who lived it at the highest level. And the ripple effects go beyond the offense. His words, his energy, and his approach are helping define what accountability and excellence look like inside that locker room. That cultural shift is already underway. For an organization like the Commanders, which has been building momentum year over year, Welker's early impact couldn't come at a better time. Washington has a defense that can dominate a quarterback, situation that's gaining stability, and now a wide receiver group that's starting to blossom under elite guidance. But above all, they have a coaching infrastructure that's becoming one of the most dynamic in the league. Welker's addition only strengthens that. And with a figure like Ken Norton Jr. leading the linebacker room, it's clear that this staff is being built for sustained success. Welker isn't here for gimmicks. He's not here for photo ops or flash. He's here to work, to shape, to lead, and to win. And the players are buying in. That's how dynasties begin, with buy-in, with alignment, and with visionary coaching from top to bottom. Don't be surprised if Welker becomes one of the most talked about figures in Washington's 2025 campaign. Not because he seeks attention, but because his fingerprints are going to be all over this team's success. We're already seeing a culture shift. Players are more focused, practices more efficient, and communication tighter. It's the kind of subtle transformation that pays off big when the games matter most. From handling press coverage to executing timing routes, receivers are showing polish uncommon in early off-season workouts. That's Welker. That's what he brings. He's not just a mentor, he's a multiplier. He amplifies the strengths already in place and shores up the weaknesses before they become liabilities. That's the mark of a real coach, and the Commanders recognized it early. They didn't need a crystal ball to see his value. They just needed the courage to act quickly, and they did. Welker's role may be listed as personnel analyst, but that title barely scratches the surface of what he's doing. This is a guy who's mentoring, leading, developing, and motivating, all while helping shape roster decisions that could determine the outcome of a playoff race. And remember, the Commanders are not far off. They flirted with contention, and now they're building the consistency and detail needed to make a serious run. Welker's arrival is one of those under-the-radar moves that analysts love in hindsight, but Washington fans already sense it. They know something's different. They see the players responding, the routes getting sharper, the tempo picking up. It's not a coincidence. It's calculated growth led by a man who's seen it all and still has the fire to give more. It's a new era in DC, and Welker is one of its most important architects. Let's also consider the long-term implications here. Welker is getting his coaching reps in at a very high level. If he keeps this trajectory, it's not hard to imagine him becoming a full-time position coach again, or even moving into a coordinator role. He's that sharp. He's that effective. Washington may have landed him in a supporting role, but if he continues transforming this wide receiver group, helping young talent blossom, and reinforcing a winning mindset throughout the building, it won't be long before teams across the league start paying attention. But for now, he's Washington's secret weapon, and the Commanders are wise to keep him involved as much as possible. This isn't just an off-season boost. It's a foundational shift that could help power a deep playoff run. If the players embrace the challenge and keep grinding under his watchful eye, the results could be spectacular. Ultimately, Welker's presence speaks volumes about where the Commanders are headed as a franchise. They're no longer satisfied with flashes of brilliance or potential that goes unfulfilled. They want results. They want consistency. And most of all, they want leaders who can help this young, hungry roster rise to the moment when it matters. That's exactly why Wes Welker is here. And so far, he's exceeding every expectation. From sparking growth in rising stars to planting seeds of championship-level preparation, he's operating like a veteran coach with something still to prove. If Washington wants to make noise in 2025, this is how it starts. With belief, with buy-in, and with brilliant hires like Wes Welker. It's not flashy, it's not headline grabbing, but it's real. And in the end, that kind of foundation is what championship football is built on. Watch this space. Wes Welker is just getting started. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. Whispers are swirling around the NFL world as an unexpected and rather juicy rumor gains traction. The Washington Commanders may be on the verge of pulling off a dramatic last-minute trade to bring back their former star pass rusher, Chase Young. Yes, you heard that right. Chase Young, the explosive defensive end who once terrorized offensive lines, could be returning to the team that originally drafted him, but in a deal so hush-hush that it's barely made a ripple in the mainstream media. Sources close to the matter suggest that negotiations have been ongoing behind closed doors for weeks, and insiders hint at an intricate exchange involving draft picks and players that could reshape the Commanders' defensive identity. This potential move could send shockwaves not just through Washington, but across the entire NFL, as teams scramble to recalibrate their own defensive strategies to counter the return of a player once considered a game changer. The intrigue around this possible trade centers on how the Commanders and the other party, rumored to be a team with salary cap challenges but plenty of draft capital, have managed to keep talks so secretive. Chase Young's tenure with the Commanders has been a roller coaster, with moments of brilliance often interrupted by injuries and off-field distractions. Yet the talent and potential remain undeniable, and it seems Washington's front office believes that bringing him back could be the missing piece to their defensive puzzle. Observers are buzzing about the strategic implications. Could this move be a signal that the Commanders are gearing up for a serious playoff run next season? Or is it a gamble fueled by desperation to revive a defense that has struggled to find consistency? Adding fuel to the fire, insiders suggest the trade is not a simple swap, but a layered, complex agreement involving conditional draft picks that hinge on Young's performance and availability. This nuance points to a front office wary of the risks, but confident enough in Chase's recovery and form to make a move. Meanwhile, fans of the Commanders have been vocal on social media, torn between excitement at the prospect of Young's return and skepticism about the durability of a player who has faced numerous setbacks. The general sentiment, however, leans toward hope. Hope that this rumored trade might finally ignite a new era of dominance on defense, bringing the kind of pressure and disruption that Young was once expected to provide. The timing of this rumor couldn't be more intriguing. With the NFL offseason in full swing, teams are scrambling to finalize rosters and draft strategies, and a last-minute blockbuster like this would dramatically alter the landscape. The Commanders' coaching staff, reportedly in close communication with the front office, is said to be ecstatic at the possibility of reintegrating Young into their defensive schemes. This move could rejuvenate a pass rush that has been pedestrian, at best giving the team a feared edge against quarterbacks league-wide. Some analysts speculate that this secretive negotiation might even have been catalyzed by recent performances or injury updates, pushing Washington to act swiftly and decisively before the window closes. Meanwhile, the other side of the deal remains shrouded in mystery, fueling more speculation than facts. Which team would part with the assets necessary to reacquire a player like Chase Young? Reports hint at a franchise balancing between rebuilding and contending, looking to offload salary, while adding high-impact talent. This makes the trade a fascinating chess match, where both sides stand to gain, but also risk losing out if Young cannot recapture his previous form. NFL insiders are now watching every move with bated breath, knowing that confirmation or denial of this deal could come at any moment, possibly even within the next 48 hours, making this one of the hottest and most secretive stories of the offseason. For Chase Young himself, this rumored return would mark a dramatic chapter in a career marked by highs and lows. The young defensive end has long been viewed as a generational talent, but one whose trajectory has been derailed by injuries and questions about his off-field discipline. If he does return to Washington, the spotlight will be intense, with fans and media eager to see if he can live up to the potential that made him a top draft pick and a feared opponent on the gridiron. It also raises questions about his mindset. Is this move a fresh start, a chance to prove doubters wrong, or a last-ditch effort to salvage a promising career? At the same time, this trade rumor adds layers of complexity to the Commanders' broader team-building strategy. Washington's front office has been aggressive in recent years, trying to build a competitive roster through a blend of savvy drafts and high-profile signings. Bringing back a player like Chase Young signals a commitment to strengthening the defense with proven talent, but also carries risk given his injury history. How the team balances this gamble with the need to develop younger players and maintain salary cap flexibility will be a key storyline moving forward. The secretive nature of the negotiations hints at careful planning and a calculated risk by the Commanders' management. If the trade does materialize, expect reactions to be mixed but passionate. Commanders fans will likely erupt in excitement, welcoming back a player they once believed was destined to be a cornerstone of their defense. Critics, however, will point to the gamble and question whether the team is doubling down on an uncertain asset instead of investing in more reliable options. Meanwhile, rival teams may see this move as a game changer that could shift power dynamics within the division and beyond. The ripple effects on scouting, draft boards, and free agency strategies will be significant as the league digests the news. One cannot ignore the timing from a league-wide perspective. The NFL offseason is a pressure cooker of rumors, trades, and strategic moves, and a blockbuster deal like this could spark a wave of similar bold maneuvers. The fact that this trade has reportedly flown under the radar until now adds to the mystique and the potential shock value when or if it breaks publicly. Industry insiders are speculating whether this secret deal is part of a broader trend of teams working discreetly to finalize key roster moves away from prying eyes, aiming to avoid leaks and public scrutiny. In the end, whether this Chase Young trade is confirmed or remains just a tantalizing rumor, it has already injected excitement and speculation into the NFL offseason narrative. It raises questions about team loyalty, player potential, risk management, and the lengths organizations will go to secure talent they believe can turn the tide. The coming days will be crucial as the football world waits with bated breath for official word, and the Commanders might just be on the cusp of shaking up the league once again with a daring, secretive last-minute move. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.